purpose of this event is to educate people about water quality and the importance of water in our environment.
We're teaching kids about their environment and how important it is to take care of our environment. We're giving away tree saplings for them to plant. We are teaching them about water, and we're having a great time.
I think it's a great idea, and Sandra Diorca, our public service director, has done a great job with this.
Well, the main purpose that we want to convey is that water is important, and water quality is really important for our future.
My name is Nick Neve. I'm a plant operator here at Delhi Township. Today we're at the Water Quality Awareness Open House. This is a display modeling the wastewater facility here. We have different samples from our process, starting from the very first influent sample where it comes into the wastewater treatment facility. The influent sample here is the actual raw sewage coming from people's homes. Comes into our facility and goes through the very first stage of the treatment process, which is a settling, primary settling it's called, which removes most of the heavier solids. After the primary settling stage, it goes on to a biological stage where we use biomass or microorganisms to feed on those colloidal or suspended solids, which we couldn't remove through the initial process, settling process. After those microorganisms have consumed the solids into their bodies or adhere to the outside of their bodies, they'll settle out to the bottom of the tank. We recycle those organisms back to the beginning of our process, and the cleaner water on top is what moves on to our discharge. We disinfect before we discharge into the Grand River. We use sodium hypochlorite, which is like a strong bleach solution, and we're able to treat that or use that sodium hypochlorite or the bleach solution to make it a little safer for the environment before it goes into the Grand River. This is an aerial photo of the facility here, the Delhi Township wastewater treatment facility. We're on the corner of Grovenberg and McHugh, so this is the northern edge of our property. This is McHugh Road. Grovenberg runs north and south. The actual influent comes into the plant right here. So this is where it very first comes into our facility through the sewer. It goes through some lift pumps, some screw pumps they're called. And it just brings it up to a higher elevation, and then from that elevation it's able to flow by gravity through the entire facility. These are primary clarifiers, the two circular things here, which that's the first settling process where we slow down the flow and let the heavy solids settle out to the bottom. You'll see one of these is full and in use, the other is empty in this photo. From here it actually flows through pipes underground all the way out to the aeration process here. These aeration tanks are actually biomass or biological microscopic activity. They're aerobic, so we feed them air. They're able to consume a lot of those solids and treat the wastewater for us. From there it goes on to the second settling process. These are clarifiers just like the primaries, a little bit larger. Those microorganisms now are able to settle out to the bottom in those tanks. The cleaner water flows from the top of those on through the rest of the process. Those microorganisms that we use, we'll reuse off the bottom, and they go back to the head of this aeration tank and back through the system. We do have a tertiary treatment, which is a polishing nitrification tower. We use that to remove nutrients, which are harmful to the environment. This removes ammonia nitrogen, which can be toxic in the environment, and also some phosphorus, which can cause aging of lakes and streams.
And at the beginning of the plant, we call it the head of the plant, or the headwork. So we're going to offload here and walk over there, and I'm going to tell you about what's going on. Over here, this is called the influent wet well. Underneath these covers, all the sewage comes in from the community under here. It gets pumped up the hill by what's called an Archimedes screw pump. Underneath there is like a big thing that looks like a screw. And as the screw turns, the water rides up on the edges of the screw's blades. And then it dumps out up in the top. It flows through these two things with the black tubes. Those are called muffin monsters. And they chew up all the muffins that come in the sewer. Muffins, or rags, or paper products, or underwear, or whatever anybody chooses to flush down the toilet. We need to chew that up and remove it because we don't want any of that to continue on in the process because it'll wrap around all of our equipment. After the muffin monsters, we have grit removal underneath that square. And grit is like dirt, sand, or gravel. And after that, it comes into this big round tank, and this is called a primary clarifier. This part of the plant is called the headworks. This part is called primary treatment. This is called physical treatment. Physical treatment just gets done by natural physics. And in this case, we're just using gravity. Whatever will sink to the bottom sinks. Whatever floats to the top floats. It's all natural. The same thing that happens in your backyard when your dog goes to the bathroom or out in the woods. We just capture those same bugs here and make them a really nice home. So, if we have bugs out there that use air, we have bugs up here in these tanks that live where there's no air. Can anybody think of a place inside your body where there's no air?
Your intestines.
All right, your intestines. And guess what? You have the same kind of bugs in there. What happens when you eat too much fiber or beans?
You pass gas.
All right, that's the same thing the bugs are doing up here. And so what we're gonna do up here on the hill, as you can see, we got a lot of construction going up there. We're gonna build new round tanks. We're gonna have a new set of bugs. Guess what? We're gonna catch the gas and we're gonna use it to fire some generators. And then the heat from the turbine generator's fire, we're going to use to heat the bugs. So it's going to be a sustainable process, first in the state of Michigan. And we keep these fish in here to just keep the algae and keep the tank clean. See what a good job they do?
We started putting this together, I can't tell you exactly the date, but it's probably about 40 years. We've been in the process of, in fact, I'm sure it's even more than 40 years. And we have bought land to develop and to, because our township is increasing. It's the fastest growing township in Ingham County.
Well, we must educate our kids, and while we're educating our kids, we're inadvertently educating those adults that don't know the importance of water, resources, and taking care of our environment. So this is a great opportunity for our young people to be involved and be educated as well as the adults.
Well, we're going to go see the aerobic bugs that are in the tanks out here. You can't really see them. They just look like coffee. But if you go to the demonstration tent, we have a microscope and you can actually see them.